We do have storms in the forecast, actually. I feel like we haven't had a whole lot of those
No,
recently.
we haven't. You're right. And I will say, I could use a little rain at the house right now.
Yeah,
Things are getting a little dry.
A lot of people could, and there's really not much of a drought at all, really, across North Texas. So we don't necessarily need the rain, but you go so long without it, you're like, okay, it's time. But if this is our Clyde Warren Park camera, and you can see the clouds bubbling up in the background, we're at 92 degrees, but the heat index right now is at 96. There's plenty of moisture in the air. Looking at satellite and radar, you can see that broken line of storms out to the west. That's coming together a little bit more. We also have storms over Oklahoma, and it's all a part of this boundary that will continue to sink south into North Texas and should help to trigger some more showers and storms late this evening and into tonight. So looking at our timecast, it's going to be 10 o'clock. The boundary moves into parts of really the northern part of the Metroplex, but the storms just north of Denton, north of McKinney, right around Sherman, also just south of Bowie around Archer City. But in Dallas-Fort Worth, we're pretty quiet at that time. The chance of any storms actually making it into DFW, that's going to be very low. Now, overnight and into tomorrow morning, that boundary moves back up to the north. We look pretty quiet. We're going to have partly cloudy skies, but tomorrow afternoon, that boundary comes back and sets up basically right around the Metroplex, around I-20, and then we're going to be watching showers and storms to the south and west, but that front should help to trigger more showers and storms later in the afternoon and evening. The problem is, could there be severe weather? There is a very low chance that we could get an isolated storm that could produce maybe wind gusts 50 to 60 miles an hour and maybe some very small hail, but that would be very isolated if that happens tonight and into tomorrow. So once we get into tomorrow night and Wednesday morning, we're quiet again. The boundary lifts back to the north, but Wednesday afternoon, we could still see maybe an isolated shower or storm across the Metroplex, with the highest coverage would stay off to the west. So for tonight, any storms that do make it south of the Red River, there will be a very low threat, so a marginal risk of seeing wind gusts between 50 to 60 and maybe up to pea-size hail. Temperatures tonight, we're going to be staying warm. We're dropping down into the low to mid 70s, about 75 tomorrow morning in Dallas, 73 in McKinney, 74 in Fort Worth, and 71 tomorrow morning in Decatur. Tomorrow afternoon, because we are expecting more cloud cover and the possibility of rain and storms, temperatures should be just a little bit below normal. The normal being 94 and forecasting a high of 93 in Dallas, so it's not going to be cool by any means, but 92 in Fort Worth, 92 in Decatur, and 90 tomorrow in Gainesville. So for tonight, it's going to be warm. It's going to stay humid. We're going to have a light wind, but a few storms will be a possibility, mainly northern sides of the Metroplex, with temperatures dropping down into the mid 70s. Tomorrow afternoon, though, we're looking at partly cloudy skies. Scattered afternoon storms will be a possibility, but right now that coverage looks like it's going to be at about 30%. Temperatures do make it into the low 90s. We're back to 94 degrees on Wednesday, partly cloudy, a south wind with a 10% coverage of rain and storms. We're dry on Thursday, and then looking at the holiday weekend, it definitely looks dry. It also definitely looks hot. I think we're going to be in the upper 90s for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's going to be a little bit of breeze with that as well. Looking at July 7th, we have that chance of rain and storms returning, but right now that coverage looks to be pretty low, so temperatures don't move a whole lot. The second half of that 14-day still looks very hot. We have highs in the upper 90s. We also have that one day where we do have 100 degrees. So we're going to get pretty close to 100 degrees outside of that as well. But for now, July 11th is the day. After that, rain chances return and temperatures should go back down at least a little bit.